Big batty girls, boys, and my non-binary beauties, welcome back to Antics with Ash. Oh, I have my mortal enemy here again, Mr. Remmington.
And karaoke style.
As in, guys, the sugar babes are looking well. I don't know what's... Basically, there's an echo in this new studio because all the studios aren't in it yet. So we're trying out these mics and we're going to see Wagwan for the audio. So let us know. Yeah, I know, but I kind of like...
Next up on the mic is Barry and John.
And tonight, Michael, I'm going to be...
in it.
Shirley
the cheeky girls.
Okay, so I have Jack on today because we just got back from a little Holly Bob's. And you know we love to give you Holly Bob's debrief. So that's what this is today.
Correct.
Actually, before that...
It wasn't a Holly Bob's.
No, it wasn't a Holly Bob's. Trip. It was a work trip.
We were bus club, another club, taxi.
Yeah.
25-hour days.
I'm not going to lie, I could have slept for a week after that.
I'm still not sleeping right. I'm
really?
Yeah, big time.
Stop.
Yeah.
You know what I wanted to talk to you about, though? Who's been watching the Olympics? Because blood fire! I've never felt more into the Olympics as I have this year.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know why that is, and I feel like... I agree. But I feel like that's the general consensus for everyone. Or is that just not the case? Am I just seeing more of it because I'm more interested? So my algorithm's like, oh, yeah, I know.
Maybe that. I also think it was really helpful that it's in Paris because it's our time zone. Because I was just realising someone was like... The next one's in LA, and then the one after that, I think, is in Australia. And it's like, so what do we do? Just wake up in the morning and find out what the results are?
Yeah, I ain't getting involved in that. I agree.
It's nice that we get to watch it whilst it's going.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to stay up till 6 a.m. to watch Adam Peaty do breaststroke.
Which I would.
Yeah.
Adam Peaty's bae. Anyway.
Bae?
Yeah, bae.
2014 cut that wants its words back.
So true. I've never used the word bae.
Rufflecopter.
That is so funny. I wanted to speak to you about the post that you put up because it sent me into a tailspin.
The YouGov poll.
Yeah.
Right, so the YouGov poll conducted to British people, and it said that it basically asked, do you think if you started training now that you would be able to qualify for the Olympics in 2028, right? And typical British delusion, 27% of respondents said yes. So over a quarter of Brits said, yeah, I've never ever trained at all, but if I started now, I'd qualify for the British team at the 2028 LA Olympics, right?
That's T though, that's me. As in,
One in 16
I'm that
people
Delulu
said
girl.
100-meter sprint.
Yeah, same.
That is Usain Bolt. And 1 in 33 people, 3%, said gymnastics. They said that they could qualify alongside Simone Biles, having never, ever seen a balance beam or a pole vault, whatever the hell it's called, a vault horse, pummel cart.
But there are two types of people that watch the Olympics. There's the people that watch it in admiration of, wow, these are athletes. I could never ever do that. Like, this is so admirable. Or there's me, where I watch the gymnasts on the balance beam, and when I see their foot slip, I think, are you a pussy clot?
Yeah.
But I know full well how amazing it is what they do and how many years and years of training have gone into it. But my toxic trait is I look at that and think, have you not been doing this same beam routine for 2 years? Like, are we all well?
You're in the 27%.
Yeah, I know. I know.
That's hell.
It's bad, isn't it?
And I think it's weird because you would think that I would also be of your mind. And I think it's the fact that I have respect for people who work hard. So I just see what they've done and I think, wow, that could never be me. That dedication and commitment is so incredible and awe-inspiring. And you just go, how hard can it be?
No. That's not it. Let's not get it twisted. I don't knock the dedication that they put into it.
You just
it's that I think I could do it without any. That's the point. I'm in my sleigh bag. Surely I'd get on that beam and do a solid 10.
What would you be best at?
Definitely gymnastics, I think. I'm small and springy. My dad always says he's really upset that you didn't put me. He genuinely
your
believes...
batty is not helpful, is it, for gymnastics?
My batty?
Do you not think it's like you'd
Why? What about my batty?
Well, it's just quite large, isn't it?
Say it again.
Big batty, yeah.
Good evening. Why don't we do the rest of the pod just about that?
Your ass. Fine. There was actually a photo from Morzine where you looked like you were standing on one leg like a flamingo meets Mary Poppins hybrid, and you looked stacked.
Really?
Yeah.
That's tea.
Do you also want to talk about your BMI?
Oh, fuck no, Jack. I don't want to talk about that. So basically, no, I'm actually upset. I went to the gym with Chris the other day, right? We had a little workout, blah, 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 getting it in. We felt like superior human beings.
Getting it in?
Getting it in, a workout in, getting it in. Not shagging in the gym. We could be, though.
Getting it in?
Yeah, like
pack
we
it
all
up,
say,
pack
like,
it in. Let me begin.
So at the end of the session, they've got one of those. It's not a BMI, because I feel like BMI, everybody just lambasted that because they were like,
you love the word lambast at the moment. It's
yes,
all you're saying.
I love it.
Lambast tease, demure tease.
Yeah, very demure.
Very demure.
Very cute.
Yeah, it was just basically saying your body fat percentage, I think, wasn't it? It wasn't calculating your BMI. But
yes,
what was,
because people say that BMIs aren't accurate anymore because
they're also
take
like
into account
a bit racist, blah blah blah. Like there's all sorts. Yeah,
fine.
they're not good. As in the whole any national rugby team,
it doesn't take into
it just says
account,
any
like,
national
genetic elements.
No, but also like muscle. It's just so basic of like height versus fat, basically. So any rugby player at a top level would be classed as like obese, which is just so ridiculous.
Right. So basically, this is quite a high-tech machine at this gym. And he said, oh, do you want to like jump on it and look at your like composition? It's like fat to muscle to whatever. Anyway, I've gone, yeah, lit. I've just absolutely beasted this session. I am Simone Biles at this point. So I was like, of course I'm going to get on this machine. I get on this machine and the blood clot tells me I'm 50% body fat. And I literally just look at Chris and I went...
Bear in mind, Chris's was like 12 or something.
Yeah, Chris's was like nothing. Chris is basically just a floating knob at this point.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
You're Simone Biles.
In it. So then I've gone, can you explain the results? Chris is silent, yeah, because he didn't want to upset me. So he's like, no, like that's like kind of normal for a woman. And I can see him falling apart at the seams. And I'm thinking, no, explain the results. Like, what do the results say? Are the results trying to say I'm massive? And he went, no, it's not even, it's your boobs. It's your boobs. I swear it's your boobs.
It's just your chebs, isn't it?
It's just your chebs. It's just your chebs. Basically...
You're 50% tit.
Yeah, the machine told me that I'm Shamu with legs, and now I'm so upset.
No, Shamu with a breastplate.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Fair. I'm happy to say that it's all my boobs, but it's just not. So basically now I'm meal prepping because we're going to Ibiza in 3 weeks and I cannot.
It's not even 3 weeks.
What? Okay, well...
16 days, it's 2 weeks, 2 days, that's it.
Well, I'll just eat dust mites then. Until then.
I always wonder about that. You know, people who like...
What, if
deliberately
you could eat dust?
No, but like people just go around like licking pavements and stuff trying to get poorly so that they...
What?
I'm sure I'd watched a documentary about it or something once.
So when you tell me you've been killing it at the gym for like 3 weeks, have
all
you been
I've actually
licking
been doing is just licking pavements. That's the Adele B-side. Should I keep up or should I just keep licking pavements? And I do that.
Let you.
Song.
Wait. Good. Anyway, so yeah, basically the moral of that story is I am Shamu and I can't keep going on like this. So I'm becoming Simone
Which
Biles.
is literally a lie because you feel in your body bag at the moment. And you
I don't.
look really good.
I actually don't.
Oh, well, you do look good, and I will never say.
I do just think the gym. Right, I've been thinking this about the gym just in general. Yeah, I think the gym is so annoying, and I love the gym. I'm a gym girly, but do you not just wish? It's long, as in, do you not just wish that you got to a level of fitness and then you reach like the end?
Pause.
Yeah. Like Super Mario, like that's last level. Lit, hooray! He comes out and all the shrooms do a little dance, and then they say you've completed gym.
See, in the words of Cheryl Cole, anything that's worth having is sure enough worth fighting for. And I think you just need to persevere. That's
I am
the point of life. I know, but I'm saying like it would be boring.
Persevering.
If it was just like, let me get there done.
Right, because like, it's not the destination, it's the journey.
Exactly. The real friends are the weights we lifted along the way. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God, do you know what we haven't spoken about?
Well.
Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd.
Oh, Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd. Which, well, it's the same. It's the people we went to Morzine with, isn't it?
Yes. So we were at a Garnier party, right? And
it's like a pride party. It was sick.
all of our childhood dreams came true. because they brought out Cher Lloyd.
As in Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd, Becky G, all three.
Yeah.
Which she came out to.
Yes, I
That was her
know,
intro
which is
to
so
the stage.
funny.
Which one of you doesn't know how to floss a toilet after you've had a shit? It wasn't me. It was fucking one of yours. Disgusting.
Anyway, turns out Cher Lloyd wants to lips me.
Cher Lloyd runs the Ash Home fan club.
I was so taken
We were
aback.
in the audience, and at the very last song, which was Swagger Jagger,
which I ascended.
Well, no, before this, she was on the mic and she was like, oh my God, it's like crazy to see you here in person in front of a room of hundreds of people.
Bear in mind, she's mid-performance, so I'm like absolutely going feral to Swagger Jagger, and she's like,
the 3 words that you know.
Yeah.
And she's there going, you're my idol.
And I was like, wait, what? Mid-song? And she was like, you're so gorgeous. And I was like, who, me?
Then she pulled you up on stage. Then she pulled me up on stage, but I think that was like a charity thing because she could see I was glued to you. So she was like, oh, all right, 2 for the price of 1. And then when we got off stage, she asked for photos with us.
Yeah.
And I might as well have had my knob in my hands because she was just talking to you going, wow, your body's unreal. She defo wanted to pack it in with you in the gym.
Yeah, exactly. And all I thought was, oh my God, if I could tell 15-year-old me that Cher
Lloyd from Malvern in Worcestershire.
That Cher Lloyd from Malvern in Worcestershire wanted to lips me, I would have told you you're lying.
You're lying.
Why you're lying for?
You liar.
How weird is that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was the best time ever. Yeah. I just needed to talk about that quickly.
So now that we're halfway through the pod, shall we actually talk about what we're here to talk about?
Yes. So, the Jack and Ash show. Woo! Reboot, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically, we went to Morzine.
Which is in France.
In France. Guys, have you seen the video of that lad on TikTok? It has absolutely been sending us. And he's in like a Nike tech top and he puts his phone up here and he goes, I can't lie. Man's been active in France. Come on then. And it is the funniest video ever. And obviously, we just said that 1 million times a day because we were in France. So everything was like,
France.
We were in France.
There's also the woman from, I think it's Miss World or Miss Universe, whatever, when they have to announce their own countries. And it gets to France and she's got a frog in her throat, which is ironic for a French woman. And she goes, they're like, Azerbaijan, Argentina, France. We couldn't stop saying that as well.
We need to clip that video in. Yeah, I actually hate that we're just walking meme bots as well. Like, it's not okay.
Man's been active in France.
Come on then. Anyway, we went to Morzine for series 4.
Yeah, so it's like the 4th series of the Jack and Ash show, but the 2nd travel show.
Yeah.
Because we had, where did we go? Finland.
Yeah.
Then we did cooking. Then we did arts and crafts. And then we're going to travel again.
Yes. So
this feels very momentous because it's the first time that we've worked with anyone outside of ourselves in the production team. With Garnier. And it was sick, wasn't it? It was like, the itinerary was bonkers.
It was. Do you know what, actually? I've had quite a lot of people ask, how do you put something together like this? And they've asked for advice. I've had this on my question box actually on Instagram a lot. It might be quite nice to talk about it because this has been, I think it's really easy to see people's projects and think, oh my God, they must have just done this, and kind of not seen how long that process took. God. I mean, we have been talking about a travel show for 55,000 years.
Longer.
Like BC.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. Yeah. And I think me and you always travelled really organically, like just together as mates before any of us were doing social media, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody loved the travels, and
there's just always chaos. There's always something stupid that goes viral because like there's plane problems, or you think you've met Miriam Margolyes in Mexico on horseback. It's just an old Spanish speaking woman. So therefore for the longest time we were trying to get that commissioned, right? Like a travel show when we were in conversations with TV people. And then for the first one, it came about because I was asked by the Finnish tourism board if I wanted to go out and show like how LGBT friendly it was. And that didn't end up working out dates wise. And so when they spoke to us again, they were like, we'd love to take you out. And I was like, well, hang on, if I take you with me as my +1 and they're already sorting out like travel, accommodation, tour guides, all we have to pay for was the production team. So we self-funded the first series, which is the best thing that we could have done. And I'm really proud. It felt a little bit like, we felt weird, didn't we, to start with being like, is this the right thing to do in terms of, does it look trash to be like, we're paying?
Yeah.
I think we just had such belief in it ourselves that we were like, it is worth us doing. The production team we love, and they like we knew Sai, one of the guys beforehand, so that was really organic. So they've done all the seasons for us, and then when it came to this second travel show portion, luckily we work alongside the brands, and obviously one of them being Garnier, and they were open to basically just saying we'd like to work alongside you with this. We'll put the products in it, and it was sick. So
as a disclaimer, though, we were speaking about this show for like a year and a half, and we were having meetings constantly and talking to loads of broadcasters about it, and everyone was kind of like, oh, great idea.
They're all keen.
I think everyone, it's that classic thing though, isn't it, of starting anything new.
Yeah.
Like that Lady Gaga quote where she's always like, you can have 100 people in the room and only one believes in you.
Yeah, 99 don't believe in you.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not even that they don't believe in it.
No.
It's just no one wants to commission anything that has any risk, because everything is just becoming more and more risk averse. And secondly, a travel show is the last thing they want to commission because it costs more.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to do a pilot that is like based in the UK, within London, do it within 3 hours. And like travel show just doesn't work in that way. So we're very lucky that they wanted to work alongside us for this second season. And then, we basically just threw in loads of ideas of learning a lot from the first season and saying, we just need things that are the most chaotic as possible on screen. So we ended up finding an adventure park and a zip wire and a summer toboggan and an immersive light show in the woods and a goat farm, which was iconic.
Yeah.
And so that's just kind of how it came about.
Yeah.
And we had a rep called Lauren from the brand who we adore, and then the production team with us again. So it was 6 of us in total, wasn't it? 3 production and then us 2 and Lauren. And it was fab. And it was just, and the tuk-tuk with the wine, I even forget about that.
And we're going to go through it all. We are going to go through it all. And I just think like the message to take away from that, because I always get people asking, how do I start something new? I'm afraid to do this, I'm afraid to do that. And I totally get it. There is an element of imposter syndrome, and we felt that even. I think people think that we're kind of devoid of those feelings because we have a social platform or whatever. We are so not. Like, I remember we were both like, are we being idiots here? Are we going to put all of our own money into this show, do it ourselves, and then get -1 views and everyone just says, oh my God, embarrassing? But you just have to let go of that.
It's a self-belief thing. And I think also I've kind of got to the point now where, we'll hear some people be like, through grapevine, whatever, like, oh, his stories are trash or don't enjoy da. And I'm like, that's fine, that's on you.
Yeah.
I, at absolute minimum, just get to do these fun things with my mates, with you, and document them. And if all else fails, I've got
having a fun
an
time.
amazing memory bank of things that we've done.
Yeah.
So it's just not tragic.
Yeah, I totally agree. So the message to that is, if you are wanting to start something and you are working on something, just do it.
I'm just so off that mindset nowadays as well of life is so short. Like, so cliche, but like, what on earth are you waiting for? Why are you living your life for somebody else?
Also, I know it's cliche, but there actually is never a right time.
No.
Like, you will always find an excuse for it to be the wrong time to start something.
Yeah.
So you actually just have to pull your finger out your ass and do it. Because I'm the worst for that. I always say to you with things like, oh, I don't know, like I've got this going on, so maybe I should do it then. And then that time comes and then something else arises. Like, there will never be a right time if you're nervous about something.
So impressive when people are go-gettery.
Yeah.
Like, just we've got a handful of friends, or even like Lawrence was saying about his boyfriend recently. He was like, it's phenomenal to me that when he puts his mind to something, it just gets done because he just does it, and he's so efficient, and it's such a sick trait to have.
I agree.
And I think we're getting better at doing that.
Yeah.
But we still, like to make excuses for a lot of things, don't we, that we don't do.
We just like having a good time as well. I'm not going to lie. There is a line, like, I love hard work, don't get me wrong, but there is that line of us, like this summer, we keep saying,
best summer ever.
We're just having a fucking ras up this summer, honestly. And like, I know everyone's going on about Brat Summer. We put the B in Brat Summer this summer.
No, we put the rat in Brat Summer.
Yeah, we did.
Forget the B.
It's just been so good. And it's really, I think we felt so overwhelmed with work for the past like year and a half.
Yeah, it's just been non-stop, which is sick. Like,
which is great.
We're very, very fortunate, but it does get quite overwhelming at times when I think the big thing for us is that we usually have events in evenings, and then we also have a lot of work at weekends. So where it just looks like, oh, we're having a ras up on a Thursday, a lot of that stuff is work stuff.
Yeah.
So it kind of, the line between work and pleasure is blurred a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a point recently where I realised like for a whole month, there wasn't a single day where I'd actually done nothing work related.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas sometimes I'm quite envious of people who get to say, oh yeah, cool, the
Like
weekend's
I've
here, I get to
clocked off.
close my laptop, not talk to anyone from work, don't need to go on my emails. That we don't.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's just being self-employed, isn't it? Swings and roundabouts.
Agreed. So, Morzine.
Yes.
We're going to chat about it. So, we get to the airport, we've done the journey. We get
Time we
to...
pick up, like 4 a.m. It was a long old day, wasn't it?
I
Flight
just
was at 6 a.m. I think.
it should be illegal to book a flight
before lunch.
Totally agree.
I agree.
Because the fact that 9 p.m. flight doesn't sound, 9 p.m. that's late. 9 a.m. flight doesn't sound that bad. It's not though, is it? That's getting picked up at
and
what?
you had to be makeup ready. You wanted to be makeup ready for the shoot, so you worked backwards of like an hour or two.
Guys, I woke up at 3:30 to put a damn face on in the dark, and I just thought, oh, this ain't it. This ain't it. So anyway, we've got on the plane. We've got to Geneva.
Yep, in Switzerland.
And this is so funny. So our sound tech guy, Will. So basically, there are all these rules and regulations about bringing like certain amount of equipment, is it?
But it's specifically because Switzerland wasn't in the EU.
Right,
Isn't in the EU.
okay.
So he got us a permit to allow all this techie stuff
Yeah.
into the EU, which we're obviously no longer a part of. And it didn't allow Switzerland.
Yes.
Boring. So he ended up... The French, there's basically, it was the airport's so on the border.
Yeah.
Part of it's in France and part of it's in Switzerland. And
which I can't wrap my head around, guys. It makes me just think, what is anything?
But you know that whole
what
thing
is
of like,
time? What are countries? What is anything? As in, there was one side of the airport that was France and one side was Switzerland.
But borders
like
aren't just
this.
made up. It's so silly.
France, Switzerland. Do you not think that's the weirdest thing ever?
It is, but then again, not to get too deep, it's that kind of thing about like the fact that we've won the birth lottery by just
Agreed.
having to have grown up in England because of randomly being plonked in a certain place that has a certain border that we say, oh, by the way, you have access to this passport and that allows all these visas. It's
Yeah, and gives you all these privileges over other people. Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, it is ridiculous. Even to the point where like when you've gone through the passport control, you're technically in the waters of like the other country that you go into.
Yeah.
Even though obviously you're still on British land, but you're not.
It's so weird. So basically, Will, bless him, had this whole debacle.
Switzerland wouldn't let him in.
On the Switzerland side. So he was like, nah, like all my friends and we're doing this job are through. Like I can't not get through. So they were like, okay. It was given, can I be cheeky on Will's part? It was basically like, what can I do? Like, can I be cheeky? And they were like, you could be cheeky in France.
So France just went, come with us.
So they basically said, go to France instead.
But don't walk back through Switzerland.
Yes, we had to
So
go.
we had to stay on the French side with him.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. Anyway, so we eventually got Will back. The first activity we did, bear in mind...
It's not going to incriminate him in anything, is it?
No.
They don't know who Will is anyway.
No.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
In it. So we get to the airport. Let me just tell you one thing. The minute we land, it is hotter than Satan's arse crack.
Arse crack.
It was so hot. We meet our chauffeur for the 4 days of this trip, right? He was our driver. Chauffeur makes it sound like we're the Kardashians.
Yeah.
He was our driver.
And chauffeur makes him sound nice.
Agreed. He was an arse.
He was an arse.
So, how do we even describe him? His name was Mihai.
Mihai.
Mihai. Yeah, but
I just
everyone
never spoke to him. He was just like a typical European-y, blokey bloke. He spends his summer down working in Saint-Tropez. Oh man, we've had Leonardo's been in this vehicle. And I've never ever heard someone say the F word more.
Yeah.
Like I don't even particularly like saying it. And
every other word was fuck.
At points it was more than every other word.
Yeah, it was.
He'd just say it 3 times in a row.
Yeah. But as in, he'd basically swap out every word in a sentence for fuck, and it wouldn't even make sense anymore.
No.
You're fucking fuck.
Yeah.
And we were like, what is going on? You're meant to be our driver. Like, why are you being weird?
Yeah.
He was, yeah.
He was weird.
I thought he was funny at first, and then I soon realised that...
Yeah, see, I knew, and I kept trying to give you a look like, stop encouraging him.
Yeah, and then I soon realised by like literally day 2 that he was sent straight from hell.
Yeah.
So So we've done this sweaty journey in the car with our driver who's straight from hell. And the first thing that we do is we go to a vineyard.
On a tuk-tuk.
Wine tasting, right?
A carved out section in the middle of the tuk-tuk where a trangia, I love the word trangia.
I love the word trangia.
Where a trangia with a huge vat of boiling cheese was sat atop it with what can only be described as the world's largest bowl of bread.
I.e., everything I would want from a vehicle. Like, I think...
Right. Why doesn't your car just have a hole in the middle?
Agreed. As in, Elon Musk, take note, because this is the era of...
Why is there not a Tesla cheese truck yet?
Oh my God, can you imagine? Basically, imagine it had a hole with a Bunsen burner in it with just like a vat of cheese and then 2 little holders for your wine glass. Oh yeah, that wouldn't work in a car that you would drive.
Well, maybe not for the driver, but like in the same way as you can have, like the DVD players I used to have for passengers. There's not a DVD player for the driver.
Oh yeah, imagine.
Just put the wine in the back for the kids.
Yeah, perfect. So anyway, we're on this tuk-tuk in boiling degree heat.
I had my industrial fan. I've got this little electric fan that is like a Boeing 747.
Yeah.
It's so loud, but by God, is it powerful.
It is actually.
Yeah, it is.
That's really got you out of some situations, that fan.
Yeah.
Lord
praise
knows.
be.
So anyway, we're on this tuk-tuk. Also, Jack disagrees with me. I think everyone in Switzerland is laying.
I don't disagree.
Did you? I just felt like on that tuk-tuk journey.
I just think Spain's better.
Oh, agreed, but hablo español.
Sí, vale.
Claro.
23. Más o menos, sí.
Yeah, I just think Spanish people in general are just beautiful, aren't they?
Sí.
Sure.
Sí.
But I thought everyone in Switzerland was giving.
Yeah. The waiters were giving.
The waiters were giving.
I think there was something about, I think you have to sign a contract to be a model as a waiter in Switzerland.
Totally.
Because they were all fit.
Yeah.
Then we went to the vineyard, was silly boots.
Yeah.
Then we drove actually to Morzine, which is in France, and set up what can only be described as the 6th or 7th, I don't know how many circles of hell there are, but this is another couple on top of that, are tents for the night.
So Jack hates camping.
Famously, because the last time I camped, someone shit on my tent.
Who shat on your tent, though?
It's actually a friend of mine. I'm not going to say her name on here. She just got married and I love her, but...
Your friend shat on your tent?
I don't think she knew it was ours.
But why? As in she just like in the middle of the night?
Pulled a whitey. She was done out.
And she just shat on the side of your tent?
I don't even know if it was the middle of the night.
Not broad daylight. Surely not.
Could have been. I just know it was poo and we fell out for a while. Because my uncle had got me that tent for my birthday and I was so gassed about it. And then it came back shit. In fact, it didn't come back.
And then she just said, haha, poo tent.
Yeah, poo tent. Nah.
She needs a raise.
Right.
Anyway, Jack hates camping. I famously love camping. I think
you just
camping,
like things I don't. I don't even think you like camping. You just were like, haha, Jack hates this. Let me make a whole personality trait.
That's not true. I camped so much with my dad growing up. So for me, like camping is just fond memories. Yeah. Like obviously it is grisly and dirty and a little bit hell, but I kind of love it. Yeah. I'm just not mad, as in we woke up and it was literally all the stars in the sky, mountains, right outside our tent.
You just don't get a good night's sleep. You're fine because you're thimble sized.
Yeah, that's true.
My feet were poking out of the tent. My head was stretching the plastic on the other end, which had water on it. I was in hell.
Did you not like the natural rain sounds though?
Yeah, I don't mind that, but I can play that on my phone.
It's not the same. It's not the same. So anyway, I had a very lovely, comfortable night. Jack didn't.
I did not. I was petrified of being bitten to smithereens.
Yeah.
No bug spray. I'm glad we did it maybe for character building, but I'm not doing it again.
You'd never camp again?
No.
Would you camp at Glastonbury ever?
No. I was actually talking to Henry about it. I said I love Glasgow, but I couldn't. Like, we were so perfect this year, as we've said a million times.
Agree.
That I feel like I just would happily not go again if I couldn't emulate it or be better.
I agree. I get that.
It was
yeah.
that special. It's not a reflection of Glasgow. It's a reflection of my tastes. I just know what I like and what works. I'm very precious and I need to be wrapped in cotton wool sometimes, and that's fine.
I get that. The only thing I dislike about camping is that it's very hard to be sleigh. No.
Yeah.
It's hard to be sleigh. Like,
and
it
really,
is.
like, you don't get sleep.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I get sleep, but you don't because you're a big boy.
I'm a big boy and I'm a light sleeper, and all my energy goes into making sure that you sleep well.
Oh, not this, Jen. We got. Oh, red. Anyway, so we've had this night. Tiny violin. So we have had our one night of character building.
Yeah.
Thank tits. We then go to a gorgeous hotel in the morning.
Yeah, agreed.
And got to lay our stuff down, lay our weary heads in it. And then, what was the first day?
It was meant to be zip wire and summer sledge, but it was pissing it down.
Oh, yeah.
So we said, shit.
We said, shit, what do we do now? What I will say is
was that Adventure Park?
No, it was a very active day. Like, it's a very active destination, isn't it, Morsey?
So what's special about it is most ski resorts just don't really become anything in summer. They're dead. So like, whereas this one is very much skiing on the snow in winter, but then also people go like BMXing in summer. There's loads to do. It's the perfect weather. So it's very much both major seasons.
Yeah.
So it was a really picturesque place. I've had a few friends have gone before, even in summer, and really enjoyed it.
That's what I kept saying. I was like, this place has everything you would want.
It was gorgeous, and the houses are very like ski chalet looking, but it's interesting to see that without snow on it.
So I'm like, in the winter, this must be giving like Grinch core.
Very much so.
Where are you, Christmas? Yeah. But then in summer, it's just like...
In summer!
These mics have ruined our lives. But in summer, it's giving like picturesque mountains.
Woodland goats.
Yeah, woodland goats. Really hot. It's just gorgeous.
They had really nice matcha.
That was the day that we did Jean-Paul, our hike.
We did a hike with a lovely elderly French gentleman.
Oh, I loved him so much.
We really won over, didn't we? Basically, there was obviously everything for us has to be filmed, and so ahead of time, the events agency that works with the brand said needed to contact them to be like, "Are you okay being on camera?" Like a big part of what works for the show is that it's our interactions with the locals, and being daft and joking and trying to speak French and whatever. And that message, for whatever reason, hadn't been passed on to him. So when I said to him in very broken French, like, "Are you okay to be recorded?" and like chatting with us, he was like, No, I don't feel comfortable with that. My English isn't good. So we were like, well, shit, we can't really interact with him next. If he won't even put a mic on, if we're talking to him, even if we're being funny or if he's okay with it, we won't hear anything that he's saying. So it becomes a lopsided conversation in terms of audio visual. So we were just like, without being rude, we kind of need to not talk to him too much because it's not going to pick up. So it's not, the whole point is footage. It's good that we have a nice time.
Also,
be recorded.
Agreed. I totally get, like, people immediately see cameras and just think these are dickheads.
Yeah.
Which is 1,000,000% what Jean-Paul thought about us. He thought we were dickheads.
Monsieur Gauthier.
Yeah.
But we won him over, didn't we? He was so nice. And I think he understood that he didn't need for his English to be... Like, his English was far better than our French.
Yeah.
And he was a lovely bloke. And we did this big hike, went up to see some pigs, some goats.
Oh, so good.
We made some cheese.
We made cheese.
What
so there was this, there was this old abuela in this little cheese cellar. And she has been, you know, one of the, I just think, wow, what a life.
Yeah.
She has been churning cheese.
For about 200 years.
In a cellar in the mountains for 200 years. And I just think, what a life.
That is the dream.
As in, why aren't we? I just think we've made life. So I keep saying this to you.
Yeah.
We have made life so complicated. Like, get up, work, or it's all.
But also, she's never been to Glasgow, I don't imagine. Do you know what I mean? She's never seen Charlie XCX.
Who? I was about to say who cares, but I care about that.
She's never listened to 365. Do you know what I mean? She might have done, but I believe maybe that's why she's so good at making cheese. Maybe she does listen to 365. Because she makes cheese. She does it every day of the year.
Yeah. Maybe that's it.
Wow. So she's really having a brat summer.
That's what I'm saying. But I just think what a life this old woman is leading. Like, she has made cheese in this cellar in the mountains for, 40 odd years. And she's having the best time. She was so cute, wasn't she?
She really let us have it. We got to flip some cheese and all, didn't we?
Yeah. But then we went into the cellar.
Oh my God. The wet cellar was...
where they age
like
all
mongrels.
the cheese, which obviously fair is just a cellar full of.
But it was like
cheese.
It kind of makes you realise that the rind is literal mold. Like, there's just spores on the rind.
Sometimes I don't deep that, you know, because when I went into that cellar, as in, like, you get a nice brie from Tesco, and you think, oh, wonderful, delicious and nutritious, and then I was in that cellar of cheese, and you see just the first inklings of mold.
Yeah.
And I thought, mold, dirty, mean.
Which is kind of
but that
why...
is what cheese is mold.
Exactly. When people are like, my cheese has gone off. And I'm like, well, not really, because it's meant to. Like, cheese has gone off milk.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was delicious.
It was gorgeous.
So that was the first day, gorgeous time. Then next day we woke up, went to the adventure park. I've had better days.
I'll be honest, I didn't know that you were scared of heights.
Yeah, I'm not great.
You've literally been skydiving. I find that mad.
Yeah, and I don't need to do it again.
Yeah, but that's so good then that someone who
it was because we were there as a group and all the boys were going to do it and I wasn't, and then they got to it and they were all being pussyholes and I went, right, I'm sick of this, we've come all this way, if I do it, will you all do it? And they were like, oh my god, yeah. So that's why I did it. I didn't want to do it. I did it for the greater good.
Right.
You know what I'm like? I just like to, I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah. You're a man of the people. So, people pleaser.
Tearing chef a catcher.
Do tell. So, we went to this adventure park. Jack was definitely in hell. I just love activities.
Yeah, you do.
I'm a real activities babe, as in I don't like to lay out every day just doing nothing. Like I do like doing activities.
Yeah, because you don't like sunbathing. We won't go there. I also think it's because your center of gravity is within the Earth's core. I'm like, when I'm on those ropes, there's a lot more limb.
You were Bojangles on those ropes.
I was Spanky Bojangles. So, you were like a boulder just being rolled along a really safe ground. I was on Flibberty Gibbets the whole time.
I had skill. I am Mowgli, and I was when I was a kid as well. So I just climbed everything. I didn't wear any shoes. Apparently I used to get told off at school because I just wouldn't wear shoes.
And you'd eat the prick stick. Yeah, you were a weird child.
I was like weird.
Whereas I was the Slender Man.
Right.
Not at school.
So I was going to say, weren't you fat at school?
I was fat at school, yeah, but on this thing I was like salad fingers, it was hell.
Yeah, you were all over the place. It was fun though, but what was the most awful part about it was there was these two boys, basically we were doing Go Ape with like 10-year-olds. So Jack's there literally falling apart on these ropes like this.
Dad, Zoom, it shredded my hand. I've not been able to lift weights.
Ooh, tiny violin.
It's been a week we've been back.
Yeah.
And I'm still in hell.
Yeah.
I sliced my hand clean off. I couldn't do my hair. I couldn't tie my laces. Couldn't even put moisturiser on without my hand stinging.
I know, you didn't have a good time. I know, Bob.
But I did make the most of it.
You did.
What I could.
You did really well. And then after that, we went rafting. Oh my God.
May I say I was very good at that.
You were really good at that. You're very good at water activities. That's what I will
say. A water baby.
A fish to water.
Fish to water. The only sport I'm good at is swimming. So anything on water, all my family were swimming instructors. Mm-hmm. So as a young child, I was just thrown in the sea and they were like, go figure.
Yeah.
So I love anything water-based.
You were really good at that. Yeah. And then, well, that's kind of it, because after that, what was our last day? Our last day was, so we did Gilles.
4 days.
Yeah, we did Gilles on the water.
And then one day we did
Goat Farm.
Summer toboggan in the morning, going down the mountains when she comes, which was sick. We also have missed out the immersive woodland experience. That was life-changing.
That was one of the top
to make it into the
10 experiences of my life.
It was really hard to describe. It was basically a full-on like forest that naturally existed, and then some incredible creative genius had made this idea of a man who was like a musician, and it's all very like metaphorical and stuff, and he had a hot air balloon, and the hot air balloon functioned. The hot air was kind of like on music, and so the more music he made, the higher that the balloon could go. And then one day it crashed into a tree, and all this music spread out everywhere. And then at the end, he like finds it.
It was like some weird old fable that someone had brought to life, like geniuses had brought to life in this actual forest.
The lighting, the music, like it's something that. It's what you imagine someone says, like, oh yeah, I did this cocktail of drugs. Came up with this thing, and you need to do a cocktail of drugs to experience it.
Yes.
And we'd had a couple of glasses of wine, which is good enough.
Yeah.
And it was just breathtaking. I could have sat there and cried.
So lit. And you know, one of those things, you know, the same energy as when you try to take a photo of the sunset and it looks like arse, and you're like, do you know what? Let me just be in this moment. I was so giddy at that forest light show that I took a picture, right, which to me I thought was a masterpiece. So I was like, hang it in the Louvre.
You might as well have had the cover on your camera.
As in, everybody the next day was like, Ash, what the fuck is this? That it looks like this was taken on a Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
And my caption was, I've just been to the best place ever. But obviously it just didn't do it justice.
Oh, yeah, you tried to take a photo of the stars as well, didn't you? It just looked like dust.
Yeah.
In the camera.
It basically,
it was unreal.
you just have to go.
Yeah, it was really, really, to the point where we were like, we'd come back to more to do that.
We would.
So that was sick. The summer toboggan thing was great. And then pièce de résistance, the goat farm. So obviously that was always going to be a highlight for us, wasn't it?
It was.
But luckily, Sai, the producer and director extraordinaire, gets us so much that he brought a pack of fake mustaches.
My dream.
Like old man flat caps.
Yeah.
Like what the farmer off Babe would wear.
Yeah.
And an old smoky pipe.
If I was to ever have a sex room, those are the things that I would
we
put
don't need to talk about that at all.
Moustaches,
okay,
a fake
so
pipe,
anyway, as I was saying,
and a trilby.
Oh, for crying out loud. So anyway, in Ash's sex room were loads of goats in the mountains, and we just took it upon ourselves to play murder mystery with the goats, because obviously what else would you do on a goat farm in public?
Yes.
So
yes.
we just kept going up to them with the moustaches on and the pipe and the hat and going, it seems there's been a meltdown.
Let us find the culprit.
And it was great until one of the goats started eating the bag of food, like the paper, and that woman just yeeted the goat out of the way and had a massive go at us for letting it eat the paper, and we were like, we didn't realise.
Also, there's no rules.
Yeah, agreed.
You just get to this weird little town and there's goats everywhere. Like, we haven't gone to goat school. Like, how are you meant to know what
I did a year at goat school. I didn't tell you about that.
Did you? Did you have fun?
No, I got bitten by one.
Cool.
But so it was, it was eye-opening to say the least.
Yeah, it was really
special
fun.
teas.
But basically, we just think Morzine is a fantastic place. We would literally recommend it to anyone. It was such a good time.
And I cannot wait for the show to be out.
I'm so buzzing for you guys to see the show. Oh my
God.
God.
Should be next month, I think. We're hoping it'll be September.
And I think that's a beautiful round off, my friends.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Love ya. Now I love these mics.
I'm not mad about it.
I don't want anything else ever.
I'm not mad about it. I just wonder how it's going to look on camera.
Barely breathing.
What song's that?
Cher.
Oh. Feeling broken, barely holding on.
And on that note, like, comment, subscribe if you're watching. Please leave me 5 stars if you're listening. Tell your dad, tell your granddad, tell Cher, tell a goat.
Tell Cher Lloyd.
So definitely tell Cher
There's
Lloyd.
something so strong.
And then tell her to lips me. Love
Somewhere
you.
inside me. When I am down, I'll get up again.